Hello, good people. Welcome back to the Kuhb Games YouTube channel, and welcome back to PACMAN to 1K. We, of course, as always, have the coffee, and I think I've actually shown this off on the channel on this series, actually, but this is a Georgia aquarium mug with the coffee, and that aquarium is awesome, and they have whale sharks, and it's really cool. I'm a big fan of some of the things in Atlanta. I actually go there quite often, especially now since that's where I go to play GOAT, I guess, even though it's a 6-hour drive for me. But yeah, we are 15-4, 332 elo on the ladder. Not too bad, but of course we are still quite a ways away from our goal of 1,000. But made a few changes to the deck, nothing really like super big. But we did add back in the Stealth Bird. Cut a Medusa Worm for that. A lot of people are asking, oh, where'd the Stealth Bird go? Well, we'll bring it back by popular demand. Sure. So Stealth Bird back in the deck. Welcome back. I did also cut the third wave motion cannon for a copy of Premature Burial. Wanted to give this card a little bit more of a shot. And by that I mean a shot in the first place because I've never actually played it in Pac-Man. A few people asked me, like, why are we playing Call of the Haunted over Premature Burial? Because Premature Burial is generally the better card. I do think Call of the Haunted is actually better in the context of Pac-Man, because you can Call the Haunted, the monster, on your opponent's turn, and then go to your turn and be able to get immediate effect from it, immediate value. Whereas with Premature Burial, you're activating this on your turn, and the best you can do is just flip the monster down. That said, Call of the Haunted has been quite impressive. So thought I would give Premature Burial its shot. Maybe, your opponent like clears your back row, your floodgates, whatever. They attack over your monster. You didn't get any value out of it. You go to your turn. You have more floodgates that you kept in hand because you expertly played around Heavy Storm. Now you can Premature Burial back whatever monster you lost, play out some more floodgates, and just restart again. So Premature Burial is sort of an extender for extra monsters. We're going to give it a shot. The other change that I made in the side was I brought back in the third Solemn Wishes over the Spell Absorbing Life. I know we never actually got to play it, but Solemn Wishes was so impressive in the last video that decided to bring this back at 3. But yeah, let's see if we can knock the rust off a little bit. It's been about a week or so, probably a little bit longer, since I've played any Pac-Man, just, prepping with other decks for tournaments and stuff, playing a lot of Cat Burn, working a little bit on last turn. But yeah, let's get on to the ladder. All right, we're here against Few Juice, which is not enough juice. Man, I love orange juice, apple juice, grape juice, all of it. Lemonade's the juice. Lemonade's a juice. Big fan, but also big fan of this hand. Very, very nice. And we are going first, so we get to just rip off this Delinquent Duo as our opponent shuffles their Terraforming hand. Let's take ourselves, Lord. Let's take ourselves 1,000 life points of damage here, and we will take this card out of our opponent's hand. Solemn Judgment, very nice. Love to see that go. Would love to draw a Solemn Judgment of our own off of this Graceful Charity. Oh, and Dust Tornado, so could be Warriors, something like that. I do like my aggro matchup with the deck. Graceful Charity is going to get us a couple of Book of Moons and a Mirror Force. So I think, man, we may just ditch double Book of Moon. I don't hate that. Yeah, let's just get rid of double Book of Moon. And I think here I'm actually just going to set Sangan, and I'm going to play the Wave Motion Cannon and pass the turn. With this hand, I can afford to play around Heavy Storm. This obviously doesn't play around Trap Dust Shoot, but that's totally fine. Yep, we're playing around Knock as well. I'd rather get the Sangan out of here than my Swarm of Scarabs. And seeing that it's probably a Warrior deck or something, I can take one hit. It's not really that big of a deal. And then maybe get my opponent to set a bunch of back row. And so then we can, subsequently set a bunch of back row. Ooh, Gravekeeper Spear Soldier. Okay. Well, it's not Warriors, but this is cool too. Playing against Gravekeepers here. Yeah, Solemn Judgment. Let's go. Right on time. And we know one Dust Tornado's gone, so it appears that they are not on the Royal Decree build, which is fantastic for us. Though I guess I've seen weirder things where my opponent has had like Solemn Judgments and Dust Tornadoes and a whole bunch of stuff, and then they end up flipping a royal decree on me, and I'm big Sag. But you know, all signs point to no royal decree. We see a set from the opponent. They attack in. I'm just going to flip Gravity Bind. I don't think there's a reason to flip Mirror Force when my monster is Swarm of Scarabs, because I can just take this out for free. And, ooh, another Swarm of Scarabs, you say? Okay. So now I can actually attack with this one. It's kind of free, right? Pull out a Mirror Force or a Sakuretsu or something. That's totally fine. Flip up the Scarabs. We'll take out the Spear Soldier. This may be a little bit of a shorter episode. I know I say that a few times and then Pac-Man happens. But yeah, got some stuff to do today. Speaking of stuff to do, there is a question that I can get out pretty quickly here. I know it's been a while since I've answered any of the Q&As, but I do still have them, and I will still answer. This one is from Will Lewis 7673. Do you keep up with the Cats any? And this is in reference to University of Kentucky Wildcat basketball. I do not. Back in the day when I was a contrarian kid, super into sports ball, I was actually a Duke fan. So, big fan of J.J. Redick, which is a good thing since I'm a Lakers fan. The opponent discarding... Oh, I thought the opponent discarded a Solemn Judgment, but it was just me looking at my own judgment. All right, second knock is gone. That's very nice. And just a pass. Okay. All right. I mean, Wave Motion Cannon. Wave Motion Cannon looking pretty juicy here. We're already at 3. And opponent didn't have anything to say about this last time. So I'm just going to go ahead and attack in again. I'm generally pretty cautious of playing these, or attacking with these monsters, but yeah, I just have a read that they're not going to do anything about it this turn, so I may as well get in for that extra 500, speed up Wave Motion Cannon by a turn. And we'll see how greedy we want to be with the Wave Motion Cannon as Kaiku comes down and the opponent sets another back row. Interesting. Oh. Morphing Jar... Morphing Jar is not amazing, because the opponent doesn't have any cards in hand, but also, like, it could just draw me to, like, more burn. More Solemn Judgments and stuff, but I don't think I want to flip it right now. Though I may just set it, like, it's safe from knock. Yeah, let's just flip up the Swarm. Oh, my body is a shield opponent. That's dangerous. Okay. So Swarm of Scarabs goes away. I'm not going to Solemn Judgment that because we're so close to winning as it is. I think I'm actually just going to activate Wave Motion Cannon now. Not be greedy with it. I know, well, no. I don't think either of these answer Wave Motion Cannon, and I've got a Solemn Judgment. So yeah, let's just set Nightmare Wheel. We'll keep the Morphing Jar in hand, and we will pass the turn. And we have lethal next turn with Nightmare Wheel plus Wave Motion Cannon, and we can protect our Wave Motion with the Solemn Judgment. Breaker. No. No. We are not allowing that. That's what we have the Solemn Judgment for. Yep, the opponent's going to pass the turn. We go to our turn, and in the draw phase, we activate Nightmare Wheel on Lekaiku. All right, stand by. I would like for you to lose 500 life points, please, down to a total of 5,000. Yeah, there we go. Gonna pick up the game 1 with Wave Motion Cannon. Pretty impressive there. And while we are citing, Joey Wheeler M3S says, can you talk about your history with Yu-Gi-Oh! When you started playing and how you got back into it? Yeah, I started as a kid. Just like most people, around Magic Ruler time. I actually ended up pulling literally 7 copies of Serpent Knight Dragon from the Magic Ruler packs that I opened as a kid. Watched the anime. Some friends that I knew got into the game back then, and it just kind of pulled me in from there. We don't really have a whole lot to side for this, which is totally fine. I kind of don't even want the breaker. I just don't think we need to really go that route. Knock is good against Spy, but I don't really care about Spy, right? Sure. But yeah, some friends got into the game. They got me into the game. Maybe I actually don't want the Call of the Haunted either. Could just bring in Breaker. Breaker's not terrible. I generally don't bring in Breaker in these matchups. I could bring in Needle Sealing. There's also Divine Wrath. I don't really know what I would be Divine Wrathing, though, is the thing. Needle Sealing. Let's just run it like this. It's totally fine. Um, but yeah, I played, like, as a kid, like, non-competitively up through, like, 6th or 7th grade, which took me a little past Cybernetic Revolution. So I actually played during GOAT format. Then I quit. And senior year of high school, I believe, I remembered that my mom said if I beat a certain person at my local as a kid, that she would let me go to a regional. Skill drain. We're just flipping it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're in some trouble here. This deck, not good against skill drain, if you can imagine. Oh boy. Uh, but yeah, so somewhere around senior year of high school time, I'm just gonna set a bunch of stuff. I kind of want my opponent to heavy storm, so I guess I'll set ceasefire. Um, and I'll just kind of leave these in hand. Yeah, somewhere around senior year of high school, I remembered that my mom said I could go to regional, and I did in fact beat that guy as a kid. So I just decided on my own, like, you know what? Mom said I could go to a regional. I'm gonna go to a goddamn regional. So I got back into the game. I still didn't really know what was going on. The opponent has paused the game. Give me a sec. Okay. Sure. This allows me to answer the question without being interrupted. Yeah, so I beat the guy and I was like, yeah, I'll go to a regional. Cool. So I saw there was going to be a regional in Louisville, which is really close to where I live. That's why I call it Louisville rather than Louisville. Um, yeah, colloquialism. Um, but yeah, I just decided to get back into it. I jumped on Pojo. My name was Kuhb. That's where it started. I saw a cool Malefic skill drain deck. I was always a fan of skill drain, so I started playing that. Went to the regional, got 12th in my first ever regional, not really knowing what was going on. And honestly, I would have topped the event had I known at the time that slow play was actually illegal, because I just allowed one of my opponents to slow play me and then congratulated him after the match. It was like, that was a good strategy to slow play there. Just didn't know. But that's totally fine. And then I actually kind of stuck with the game for a while. After that, I played all the way up until Necros format. I believe someone told me that there was a second Necros format, so I played all the way through the first Necros format. Looks like the opponent's back. And then I left the game, mostly to play Magic at that point. Oh, the opponent's going to compulse. That's fine. Yeah. And yeah, I played competitive Magic for quite a while, actually, and was also, into music. I was in the band that toured um, a couple of times and just, put my focus in other things. But oh my god, this would be so good if there wasn't a skill drain on the board. I cited in my breaker, but not MST. Generally, you don't see skill drain in these decks. It makes sense. Not knocking that, but I'm just gonna set wall, and I guess we're just gonna kind of rely on that for a little bit, right? Yeah, it's fine. I don't really care about this monster, so like I'm not gonna Nightmare Wheel it just yet. But yeah, I ended up I ended up getting super burnt out on competitive Magic, so I came back to GOAT format because I had already started playing GOAT format a little bit um, while playing Magic because it was just something that we did between rounds, and like I already knew how to play Yu-Gi-Oh and all that stuff. So yeah, and then just decided, got burnt out on Magic. Let's just play some GOAT. And I kind of looked around. I was like, no one's actually making a lot of content on GOAT format, so why not start doing that? I already had the stuff. I streamed a little bit for Magic. I had the Kuhb Games YouTube channel for Magic, actually. That's where it started. I was never big or anything, but it was there. And yeah, here I am. That is This is a juicy ceasefire, right? Yeah, let's just ceasefire now. We'll deal 2,000 points of damage, and then maybe I flip up Nightmare Wheel. We just like start chipping. The opponent's at 5. It's a 10-turn clock, which, the Nightmare Wheel by itself is not going to get there, but maybe it helps out I draw into a Wave Motion Cannon or something. There are definitely ways to cheese through Skill Drain. The opponent can only activate this card in response. I guess I could activate this card in hand if they want to, but... Okay, cool. Here's my Golem Sentry. Also, like, this Golem Sentry kind of walls everything outside of the opponent having a Necro Valley on the board. So... maybe I was supposed to pay 3,000 with this. Maybe I don't activate the Nightmare Wheel just in case the opponent has Chief. I could see that. Either one. I was thinking most of their monsters, like, get walled up by a 2k wall, so... Solemn Judgment's good, but yeah, I think I'm gonna just hold on to the Nightmare Wheel, just in case. I do like the idea of, chipping the opponent down a little bit in case I draw into a Wave Motion Cannon or something like that. But this is also totally fine. Just set Medusa Worm, whatever. Start building up a board presence. I don't think I have a single out in the deck for this Skill Drain. Actually, I think Breaker is the only thing that I have. But that's okay. Switch guard to defense in phase. Sounds good. I don't know. Maybe I've got the Solemn Judgment now and Curse of Royal. Yeah, maybe I do just Nightmare Wheel. Yeah, let's Nightmare Wheel here. If the opponent has Compulse or whatever, it's fine. Maybe, I don't know. I had the logic of maybe like wait for Chief or whatever, but maybe I was supposed to just like rip that off. Alright, and you are up, opponent. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to keep the ceasefire around, but I think Golem Sentry just having a big butt as an extra defender against these monsters in case the opponent did have something for Wall of Revealing Light on that turn made a whole lot of sense to throw it off. And it did deal, 2,000 damage, which is nothing to scoff at. Okay. Opponent just passes without doing anything. Get a 4,000. I already have a Medusa Worm down. I don't think I really need to... Oh, wait, I have Book of Moon, actually. That's kind of interesting. I do have Book of Moon to protect from Skill Drain. So I guess I should set this Morphing Jar, right? Yeah. So if I draw into Book of Moon, I can flip up Morphing Jar, activate the effect, and then Book of Moon it down to protect it from Skill Drain, and get the 5 draws, and maybe I draw into, like, Wave Motion Cannon or something here. And with Solemn Judgment, Curse of Royal backup, that could be pretty good. So, opponent sets the back row, passes the turn. Book of Moon, right on time. Do I want to flip it? I think I probably do. Like, the opponent has 3 cards in hand. I've got Solemn Judgment and Curse of Royal. I'm drawn into, like, Wave Motion Cannon almost specifically, right? But it's pretty good. I'll just give him the thinky face really quick, just to give a think about it, because it's like 2 Wave Motion Cannons. And I do think that is it. Drawing another Solemn Judgment. I also have Nightmare Wheels I can draw into that speed up the clock. Sure, let's flip up Morphing Jar. Okay, I would declare the effect. And then ask the opponent for a response. Skill Drain does not stop activations. It only negates the effect. But the opponent is not going to answer me. Looks like they are going to answer me now. Skill Drain. I don't want to appear like I'm sharking or anything. I can still activate the effect. Do you have a response to the activation? Okay. Book of Moon. Target the jar. So now if the opponent has like... Oh, sick. Alright, so set. Morphic Jar resolves. Just make sure the opponent's on the same page here before I discard my card. But yeah, okay. So we'll discard the Swarm of Scarabs. And we will draw 5 cards here. Graceful Charity and Pot of Greed. Okay. It is no longer negated by Skill Drain. see if this works out. We do get to see 5 extra cards with the Pot of Greed and Graceful Charity, so pretty nice here. Pretty nice. Would love to see the Wave Motion Cannon. Oh, Royal Tribute, yeah. And another copy of Skill Drain. And what is that third card in hand, opponent? I thought I was going to have to argue a little bit more. A lot of people... And to be fair, like, I'm not knocking the opponent at all. A lot of people don't know how Skill Drain works entirely. It is a very confusing card. And it's more so like not even like rulings based. It's based more on like actual game rules and stuff and sort of how the things work. But here, let's just slam down this Pot of Greed. If the opponent Solemn Judgments, cool. We've got a Curse of Royal for that. All right, Wave Motion Cannon, Nightmare Wheel, not bad. Oh, we found the duo too? Okay. Okay, yeah, I'm down to slam that. Just super plus from the Morphing Jar. You'd love to see that. Opponent started with 3 cards in hand, activate Morphing Jar. I'm going to go up to 6. Or I +1 because of the Pot of Greed, and now they're going to go right back to their starting card total. Ooh, they have a Cyber Jar in their deck. Okay. That's pretty interesting. And now we can activate the Graceful Charity. If we draw into another Book of Moon, we can kind of do this again on the next turn. Level Limit and Gravity Bind are kind of interesting. I want to hold on to at least one of them, and it's probably going to be Level Limit. Let's just get rid of the Gravity Bind. And at this point... I don't really need another Golem. I guess Golem Sentry's got a bigger butt, but I have 2 of them in hand. So let's just get rid of the Golem Sentry. Not really overthink this. And I will just set the other Nightmare Wheel. And I don't think I need to block my monster slot. I guess it doesn't really matter. Right? But Sandgan's not doing anything. Let's just leave that open. I'm fine with blocking my spell trap slots. Because I need the extra boost from Nightmare Wheel. And, you know, Solemn Judgment and Curse of Royal are probably going to find themselves getting activated at some point. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Nightmare Wheel goes away. I'm going to Nightmare Wheel the guard here. And this just lets me... Oh! Solemn Judgment? No. No. Pay your $17.50, please, and I'm going to Curse of Royal that. Oh, they have another Judgment? Oh, opponent. Oh, opponent. Probably just going to let that one go. They go to 875. Yeah, I'm just going to let that one go. We lose the Nightmare Wheel. No big deal. And now we can just like protect this Wave Motion Cannon with Solemn Judgment. Can also play out the level limit here for extra protection in case the opponent does have like a Chief or something like I was talking about earlier, plus Necro Valley. And yeah, we'll just play out the Wave Motion Cannon. And see if that's good, and that is going to be lethal on the next turn. And we will pass. So, Book of Moon plus Morphing Jar. Coming in clutch against Skill Drain. Yeah, you can have the Graceful Charity, that's fine. And we'll see when we want to activate the Solemn Judgment. Do I want to use it on an MST on Wave Motion Cannon? Not really, but probably would. Alright, there's the Necro Valley. That's totally fine with me. Level limit still stopping all of the attackers. So is Wall of Revealing Light, at least for, you know, the attackers that we've seen. Opponent sets a new back row. I don't believe that this is an out to Wave Motion Cannon. Alright, start the turn. Dust Tornado, Wave Motion Cannon. I'm going to activate the Solemn Judgment. I guess it could be another Judgment over there. Let's go. We got him. Alright, we gained 18 as well, so we're up to a nice 350 here. Let me update the tracker. Watch the Pac-Man go up. Stonks are on the rise. Alright, we're only 26 minutes in. Let's get another one. I didn't think I was going to win this one. Early game skill drain is often just like back-breaking for Pac-Man, but you know, sometimes you get to Morphing Jar plus Book of Moon and just like absolutely slaughter your opponents because you draw into Trinity and Wave Motion Cannon. Very nice, very nice. We'll jump out of here, and I will answer a question while we are on the way to the next one. TW7777 says, what is one card you would add to GOAT format to help make Pac-Man more competitive? Opponents could use whatever you add to. Probably Dark Bribe. I think that would actually just be like a fair card in the format and would also help the stall strategies a little bit. So, yeah. There's also, I think it's called Swarm of Crows. I'm going to have to look that one up. But there was a new Pac-Man monster. It's a tribute monster, so like it's not that good. But I would love to play around with it. And it's like it has the Pac-Man effect, of course, where it can be flipped down once per turn, but whenever it's flip summoned, your opponent discards a card from their hand. So that would be pretty sick. But obviously, you know, not very good. Unlike this hand. This hand is quite good. Pretty happy to see this. Opponent leading on Thunder Dragon, okay. Alright, so we do have 2 Thunder Dragons in hand. Noted. And do we see just the full T-set? Yep, we do see the old T-set pass. Okay. Premature Burial with Sangan's pretty nice. I kind of just want to summon it. Yeah, because like if I get a monster off of it, the opponent knocks it, I can always just get the Sangan back and go get something else. Sure, let's just summon out the Sangan. And we will attempt to get on in there. Spy, that's fine. Lose 1,000, no big deal. And I guess Premature Burial could be my sort of sacrificial lamb for the Magic Jam. And let's just do that. Let's just set these, play out the level limit, and pass the turn. Hope the opponent doesn't have Heavy Storm. If they do, you know, not the end of the world. One more question. We're just going to power through these. Smithson, which card would you like a 4th copy of in this deck if you could? Solemn Judgment. Easy. All right, yeah. Breaker's fine, but it's going to go to defense. I have a Gravity Bind to go with the level limit. Yep, they're going to get rid of that. No big deal. If they turn these to attack position and attack the Sangan, I think I actually just let it go. Take my lumps, and go get probably a Lakuta at this point. Start drawing some cards. Yep. Spy to attack position. And Snatch Steal Sangan. Interesting. Sure. That's really bad for me. I'm going to have to Nightmare Will the Sangan. That's fine. The opponent's eventually going to have to do something with it, right? So we'll just flip up Gravity Bind. They have MST for the Gravity Bind. I think I actually have to Magic Jammer that. Yeah. I don't like it, but I'm so far behind at this point. I think I need to make a play to protect myself. Okay. Well, at least it goes back to the top of the deck, so that's totally fine. I'll take. My mic kind of messed up. I need to buy a new cable for this. So I don't know how much that cut out there, but opponent definitely misclicking on the Graceful Charity there. That's totally fine. But they did discard the Thunder Dragon, so those are all gone. So they don't have a way to like tribute the Sangan off. Okay, so this is a break or something. No. Okay. Alrighty then. Level limit. Heavy Storm's not gone. So I'm not gonna play out this level limit. Yeah, I'm just gonna pass the turn. And I mean, we might just be sitting here for a little bit. Interesting on this face down card. I'd imagine it's not Raigeki Break. Though the opponent, it's like they played around Mirror Force a little bit there. Knowing, well, no, there's just no reason to flip the other to attack position because you do know about the Gravity Bind. Just attack with the Breaker. Yeah, sure. Okay. So I have no idea what this card is. It could just be a blank. If it was, yeah, if it was Break or Wing Blast, you definitely just attack with everything. Get in your damage, send the Gravity Bind back to the top or to the graveyard. So, yeah, I'm not totally sure here. Opponent giving it a big think over there. We don't know of any of the cards in hand anymore because the Thunder Dragons are gone after the Graceful Charity. No dark in the graveyard for the opponent. Swarm of Scarabs, there we go. I guess at this point, we just kill Sangan and just kind of leave these monsters, right? Yeah, I'm going to set it. But I really don't want to give my opponent a dark, like, at all. They could definitely have knock at this point. This back row could be a knock. It could be just like a dead dust shoot as well. All right, opponent sets a monster. I kind of want to take that out. If it's a Moth, I really don't want the opponent getting back Graceful Charity. We'll gain 1,000. Opponent will lose 500. Yeah. If it's a Darks and the opponent has a BLS, so be it. I think I just kind of have to not let my opponent get a Graceful Charity if it's a Moth. Ring of Destruction. Okay. Well, I'm gonna target your face down first. It is Night Assailant. Okay. All right. All right. So definitely could have hit the Sangan there, but it's totally fine. Let's just play out our Wave Motion Cannon. And at this point, Ring of Destruction also makes sense for the back row. At this point, we're just kind of hoping for no Heavy Storm. Would love to see a Solemn Judgment here, but we're just going to let the Wave Motion Cannon tick up. as many turns as we can. MST is gone, Breaker's gone, so it is pretty much, well, Heavy Storm, Raigeki Break, Phoenix Wing, Wind Blast, whatever. But Wave Motion Cannon plus Nightmare Wheel could be a pretty quick clock if we can find some protection here. Also wouldn't mind drawing into a Lakuta or something. Oh, we are lagging very hard here, it appears, because it says we're still... Well, you all can't see it. Oh, yep, there we go. Reconnecting? Well, I'm just gonna restart Dueling Book, I guess. Yeah, let's just restart. We're lagging pretty bad here. All right, so yeah, it looks like the opponent passed the turn. They did set a back row. Oh, ceasefire? Okay. All right, now we're talking. This puts the opponent at 3,000, and they die next turn to the Wave Motion Cannon. Maybe... No, I don't want it to get duoed. So yeah, let's set the ceasefire. Now I may just play the level limit, like, right? It's like... No, I just don't need to. I'm at 10,000 life points. Let's just pass the turn. Because I really want my opponent to think that, like, they can attack through this Gravity Bind. So if that's a Raigeki Break, I really want them to go after Gravity Bind. Because they don't know about Wave Motion Cannon. Just, oh, Wave Motion Cannon is not lethal next turn. What am I thinking? Now it is. Sure is now. Standby phase. I will gain 1,000. You will lose 500, opponent. All right. Put the counter on the Wave Motion Cannon. I will declare the effect and deal 2,000 points of damage to your life points. And I will set Swarm of Scarabs, and I will activate Ceasefire. What a way to steal a game. Wow. All right. I like decks like this sometimes. And that's one thing, like, I like to talk about in GOAT format. Sometimes, like, it's not all about pluses and minuses. And I think that's really cool. A lot of people get caught up in that, and they're like, oh, it's all about card advantage and everything. And then there are these decks that come in like PACMAN, Burn, the Cat decks, RGT, Library, stuff like that. And they're just like, we don't care how much card advantage you got. We're just going to kill you this way. And I like that a lot. But we are up against Turbo. Let's cut a couple Book of Moons here. Prima can probably get out. And a Gravity Bind, maybe? I think I'm okay with that. Yeah, I don't really want any of these other cards. I guess Tribe. I used to bring in Tribe a lot in this matchup. But I think I'm actually just going to keep in the Gravity Bind. Tribe isn't out to BLS, and that's kind of why I like it. But I think we'll be all right here. Let's try to pick up this second game. Pump those numbers up just a little bit on the ladder. All right, this hand is quite excellent. Lead on Sangan again. See if the opponent drops another Snatch Steal. Puts us up to 10,000 life points. I guess we were at 11,000 after the end of all that, right? All right, so we know double Thunder Dragon in hand again, as Turbo tends to do. We have a monster back row. All right, the old T set. Morphing Jar. Interesting. Well, I'm not going to set that just yet, though I do like Morphing Jar in this matchup, of course. I'm just going to fire off Graceful Charity. Yeah, this is fine. I was thinking maybe I want to summon Sangan, knock first, and then my opponent can't, like, flip up a delayed Trap Dust Shoot. But, oh yeah, second knock, duo? Do we wait on the duo? Generally not a fan of doing that, but I think I might. Level limit. We can probably just get rid of the level limit here. Just have the Mirror Force. What else are we getting rid of, though? That's a good question. The Morphing Jar? Because, like, this hand's pretty good. Maybe I need to keep the level limit. Oh boy, let's give the thinky face. Maybe I actually just get rid of Swarm of Scarabs. That can't be right. Can it? I don't know. Maybe it's... Yeah, let's get rid of the Morphing Jar. I'm not going to be setting everything. Because I can just play around Heavy Storm. And let's just get rid of the Swarm of Scarabs, I guess. Or... Yeah, let's keep 2 defensive elements. Let's get rid of the Swarm of Scarabs. I like Knock a lot in this matchup, obviously. And I might hold the Duo. See if the opponent does anything. I usually don't. I usually just kind of go after the hand. And if we hit the Thunder Dragons, that's fine with me. All right, we get the Spies out of the deck. Pretty cool. I definitely don't need to set Mirror Force behind the Sangan. Oh. Oh, they're going back into the deck? Oh, did we side out a Spy, or do we have the third in hand? Interesting. I don't know. I'm just going to rip off the Duo. I really don't want the opponent to have like a draw into like a Duo of their own. And hit it and me not get any value out of it. I don't know. I see arguments for both sides. I'm just like, my thinking is like, if you get the Thunder Dragons out of their hand, it makes their Raigeki breaks worse anyway. And the Phoenix Wing Wind Blast, because then they actually have to go minus to use them. So, oh, we hit a Tsukiyomi. Okay. All right, so we do still know about one Thunder Dragon, I think. Yeah, let's just play out the level limit. Like, there's no reason to set the Mirror Force. I guess I could set Mirror Force as well. And that way, if the opponent draws Duo, then... yeah, they don't really get any value. I'll set the Mirror Force. If the opponent heavies and this is a jog, cool, so be it. But it's basically which one you want to play around, Heavy or Mirror Force. All right, Dust Tornado taking out Mirror Force. That's fine, too. I haven't seen Dust Tornado from Turbo in a bit, but makes sense. Opponent T-sets. Are we going to go summon a Sork? We are. Okay, so we're going to lose the Sangan. But at least it is Sork instead of BLS. That's totally fine. We can knock this face-down monster. We know the last card in hand is a Thunder Dragon. Golem Sentry. That's a good one. A good one indeed. So let's just go ahead and knock this face-down monster. Hopefully it's Moth. Night Assailant. That's good too. That is good too. And yeah, we'll set our Golem Sentry. We can send this this Chaos Sorcerer on back to hand. Oh, never mind. The opponent has another Dust Tornado. I haven't seen double Dust Tornado in a bit from Turbo, but no, it's looking pretty good here, right? We know about Thunder Dragon in hand. I mean, we're going to need to draw into something here, right? But we are down to nothing. Maybe I messed up on my Graceful Charity pick. So, like, I kept all of my defensive measures. The opponent just had an answer for every single one of them. Yeah. Oh, and that's an odd timing for Breaker. Okay. Nightmare Wheel. That's not doing it. No. I'm going to set it because I think at this point, like, my way to answer all of this is to draw into Gravity Bind or Level Limit Area B. So I'm actually just going to let the opponent break this and then hope that I can draw into one of those. Oh, we're just attacking? Oh boy. Guess I'll Nightmare Will here then. Save myself 2,300. The opponent's going to break it after attacking. But, you know, that's the same deal, but actually saves me life points. So I'm pretty happy about that. I'm not happy about it, but, you know, that is sort of how... it's better than how I thought the play would be drawn up here. Wave Motion Cannon. Okay. Well, I'll play it. But I don't think this is going to go well for me. We do know the last card in hand is a Thunder Dragon, so probably not dead here. Yeah. But really need a Level Limit or a Gravity Bind and hope the opponent, you know, with these two back row doesn't have an out to either. We draw Divine Wrath. I'll set that. The opponent knows Mirror Force is gone, so I assume they're going to attack anyway, but yeah, Raigeki Break. All right, I'm not going to show the Divine Wrath. I don't think I really need to make any more changes. We know the opponent's playing Phoenix Wing Wind Blast and Raigeki Break. We also know that they're playing multiple Dust Tornadoes. So maybe I do bring in the other Gravity Bind just to have more cards to pressure my opponent's spell and trap removal. But that said, I don't really have a whole lot to take out. I can take out the Call of the Haunted. I don't hate that. Yeah, let's just take out Call of the Haunted. I do still like Mirror Force. It's just out to BLS. Yeah, we'll call it a day with that, I think. I thought drawing the Golem Sentry there, we may have a way back into the game, but did not shake out that way. However, this hand, pretty good. Hope the opponent doesn't have a turn 1 knock, but we are going to set the Lakuta, and yeah, I'm just going to set the whole hand. I'd imagine we're going to get to use either the Ring of Destruction, the Mirror Force, or the Nobleman of Crossout, or the Mind Control turn 1. So, may as well play around Delinquent Duo completely, and Trap Dust Shoot. I do have the knock. Alright, well, I'm not going to Solemn Judgment that. Just kind of unfortunate. But it is what it is. And I'm not a fan of Mind Controlling the first monster that is set, so I will just go ahead and knock this thing. Yeah. Throw off the knock, then I can set this Gravity Bind. Alright, Night Assailants are out of there. Like to see that. Night Assailant's a pretty annoying card for this deck. For sure. And yep, we'll just set the Gravity Bind. We'll just keep playing around everything. Sounds good to me. Now, if the opponent sets a monster and gets some value out of Mind Control, but they don't. Cool. Draw another Gravity Bind, that's fine. Just double check this back row here. Yeah, can't use anything, so we'll just pass the turn. No big deal. Alright, opponent finally draws into Thunder Dragon. Cool. So know about 2 Thunder Dragons in hand. I can't Solemn Judgment or Graceful Charity here if they have it, but they just passed the turn. Curse of Royal, okay. Well, I'll pass the turn too. I think the opponent may, I don't know, maybe they're holding cards for a duo here, trying to get me to hold cards, because like I'm not playing anything, so this is a good way to get me up to 2 cards. Okay, we're just discarding Thunder Dragon? Interesting. Swords? Sure. Pass the turn. Alright, this situation generally doesn't work out well for me if I don't have Lakuta or anything going. So we'll see how this shakes out. The opponent does draw in a Graceful Charity. But they did already discard a Thunder Dragon. Let's see if they drew into a Serpent or something. They don't have Night Assailants to get value off of that. We have an answer to BLS and Chaos Sorcerer, so like I'm not super worried about those cards, really. Interesting. Grab some coffee here. Opponent given a think here. Okay, they did have the Serpent. Alright, oh, they left a Thunder Dragon in hand, so they discarded a Dark with Chaos Sorcerer and their Serpent. That makes sense. And yep, there's the Heavy Storm. We're going to rip off the Solemn Judgment. That's why we don't Solemn the Graceful Charity. So I'm at 4,000, which means Ring is going to be... yeah, I got to Ring the Breaker. But, you know, it's fine. We're 2,400. A Ring on their own BLS kills me. But that's fine. One of the reasons why this ladder climb is going to be tough is Chaos Turbo can be a rough matchup. That is for sure, but Breaker's gone. Wave Motion Cannon's a good draw. At least get something going here. I am just going to go ahead and play that out. And I'm going to set the Curse of Royal. I know this locks my zones again, but the opponent eventually has to set something. And like, if I draw into a Pot of Greed or whatever, and I really want to activate this Wave Motion Cannon, I can do that. So we have a guaranteed slot that we can clear the field with. Ceasefire. This is interesting. The opponent's not playing anything. Okay. I'll just pass a turn. I'm fine with this. Breaker's gone. Heavy's gone. So we've got MST, Raigeki Break. Dust Tornado and Phoenix Wing Wind Blast as outs to Wave Motion Cannon. And honestly, that is like BLS is a big part of the reason why Turbo's a bad matchup. But those cards are very real, and I think that's honestly the reason why the matchup is as poor as it is. Because they just have so much removal, and it's like monster and spell trap removal. It's all good against you. And Phoenix Wing Wind Blast dodges Curse of Royal. Summon Sinister Serpent. Yeah, I'll take 300. 21 now, so now Ring on a Chaos Sorcerer kills me. Oof. Yeah, put a counter on this Wave Motion here. Yeah. I really want to play another one. I could Minecon the Serpent, because I do have Ceasefire. Is that actually... Let's... I free up a spot. I can play Wave Motion Cannon. On the next turn, that's 4,000 damage. And on the next turn, it'd be lethal with a Ceasefire. Okay. Yeah, let's Mind Control the Serpent. Maybe we can steal a game 3 here. Could also just play Swords, but I think I'm just gonna get greedy. Play out the Wave Motion Cannon. In phase, here you go. Have your Serpent back. If I want to, I can Mirror Force this, but I don't really think I need to. Just yet. Maybe I just do. Yeah, maybe I Mirror Force it, and then I can play Swords, and that just stops all attacks. And that keeps me at 2,100, so the opponent has to have Sork or BLS to kill me with the ring. Okay. Actually, I probably activate this Wave Motion Cannon on the next turn. Might activate both, actually. Well, we'll see. Tribute for Mobius? No! No! Why is there a Mobius? Ah! No! What was the first target? Mobius. Oh, man. Alright, we get rid of the Gravity Bind and the Curse of Royal. That's fine. Because we do still have this Mirror Force. Never mind, we don't. Alright. I'm sure, I guess. Yeah, and we've got the Chaos Monster. Oh, we're actually just dead to the Mobius? Yeah, okay. Okay. I get it. We only lose 6 elo, so it's not really, the end of the world. We're going to go down to 344. Part of the reason that this grind is going to be so long is because these are going to take forever. We got 2 matches and it's almost an hour, but yeah, unfortunately I have to go do some other things today. So this is going to be the end of the video. Actually, hold on. Let me pull up Notepad here one more time. I had one question. I want to make sure I get to that. Luis Silvera, I believe it is. If I messed that up, I'm sorry. 8981 asks if you could include 3 post goat cards, 1 monster, 1 spell, 1 trap in goat format. What would you pick? We lost connection. Here, let's just go back to the deck. Then we can take a look at it while I talk. 1 monster that I would add to goat format. I kind of want to say the Swarm of Crows. Let me look at the yeah, Swarm of Crows. I think would be a good one. Also, look at that art. That's so sick. Swarm of Centipedes is also cool. Um, but it's also a 1500 attacker. This card would be pretty good in Pac-Man, I think. If I could add one monster, I want to say Thunder King Ryo. Um, that card would be really good, I think. It would turn off Rhoda. There's not like a whole lot of cards that like Surge. I guess it turns off Sangan. I hate Sangan. Yeah, yeah, maybe Thunder King Ryo. Stop Sangan. It helps against Chaos monsters. It's another good light. Maybe we make the Chaos decks a little bit more aggressive. It would also just be very good in Warriors, like really good in Warriors, even though it turns off Rhoda. It's just the 1900 beater that turns off your opponent's Sangans and whatever other search effect they may have, and also is just another answer to inherent special summons. I think would be a really cool card to have. Also, that's secret rare. The secret rare Thunder King Ryo is just absolutely beautiful. One spell. Haven't really thought about this one a lot. One spell I would add. I want to say Book of Eclipse. Just for empty jar. Honestly, it would probably be something along the lines of like Dark World Dealings into the Void, Hand Destruction, something like that to give the library deck a little bit of a boost. I know. Yeah, cool. Let's give the library deck some more tools, but I like the library deck, so fight me. Um, I think I think those adding something like that would be pretty cool for combo decks. And I can't really think of anything else. Maybe more like good spell trap destruction would be cool. Like better ways to deal with Decree, like Twister. I think Twister would be pretty good as an addition. Twin Twisters. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool too. Maybe something along those lines would also be a good idea. But I'm not sure if I can pin it really down to one specific spell, or at least I can't think of anything that I'm just like a huge fan of that I would like to have in the format. I'm probably forgetting something that I've played with in the past that I really liked, but Gear Town? Gear Town? Hold on. Let me read Gear Town again. Both players can normal summon, blah, 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 whatever. When this card is destroyed, sent to the graveyard, you can special summon Ancient Gear monster from your hand. Gear Town? Summon out the Ancient Gear Golem? Gear Town would be sick. I do love me Gear Town. Oh, Trade In is also a good one. There are a lot of really good spells that I could see being pretty cool in GOAT format. So it's really hard to narrow it down to one. I'm not really sure what my number one card would be for that, but yeah. One trap, I think my answer is probably Dimensional Prison. Punishes Sangan, punishes Chaos monsters, makes it a lot harder to just like splash BLS in a deck, stuff like that. Really like that. Maybe makes Return Dimension Fusion a little bit better, so we can get those incorporated into the format a little bit. But yeah, I like Dimensional Prison as a choice for GOAT. I also like Dark Bribe a lot. I think that would be a really cool one. Also, if I could choose last turn to 3, may do that. Memory of an Adversary is also a really cool one, but I think Dimensional Prison would probably be my pick. Or Gift Card. Gift Card would be sweet with Samachi. Maybe I change my monster to Nurse Reficule. Later changed to Dark Lord Nurse Reficule. Originally Nurse Reficule, the Fallen one. Yeah. Change my monster to that and change the trap to Gift Card. And now we have Gift Card Burn. Give us Try and Guess too. Nurse Burn. Hello, anybody? But no, probably Thunder King. Undecided on the spell. Probably like Twister, Twin Twisters. One of those I think would be really nice to help fight Decree. And it's just something that we don't really have a lot of in the format. Just like straight up spell speed 2, removal for Royal Decree. and the trap would be dimensional prison. So those are my choices. That's going to be the video. Unfortunately, 1-1 again. The turbo opponent, we were able to steal game 1. That was pretty cool. But game 2 and 3, they just had a lot of answers. Game 3, we kind of just sat there without any way to gain advantage. But that's how it's going to be. Let's take a look at the big screen that I always forget about. Here we are. As you can see, the line is still moving up. Of course, we are still low in the ladder at only 344, so we're going to gain a lot more elo from our wins than we are going to lose for our losses. But pretty happy being, 16-5 now. It's a fantastic record. Though we've been a little closer to 500 win loss for a little bit. But yeah, it's totally fine. Looking forward to doing a lot more of these coming up in the very, very near future. No promises, but you may see a lot more uploads on like Saturday and Sunday, which I know I've been taking off just to get more of these episodes up, because I know it's going to take a long time if we want to actually push this to 1,000. So yeah, maybe doing some streams as well, but that's going to be the video for the day. As always, hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be back with the next one.